Welcome. In this video, we'll be looking at natural logarithms. So, as we said, one natural base value e was 2.718 and so on, and with e to the power of 1. So, when we taking log of base e, we don't write log e of x. Let's say we, or rather y. Here we are going to write ln. This letter ln is representing log of base e. We write ln of y, and that's what it means, ln of y. And this will give you the exponent. Alright, so whatever, we need some number there, so let's look at some examples to solve it. So ln is the reverse function for finding exponent of x. So it will simply have this shape on the graph. Now ln of 1 will be 0 because anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so let's use it in action. We want to solve this equation where we want to know what exponent of e will give us a 5. So we are going to take natural logarithm both sides. Instead of writing it like so, we would rather, we know that x will be e log of base e5, but we write it like that. So in fact, you don't have to write any of these lines. You could have just written, gone to that line there, and then everybody knows what you did. Okay, mathematicians understand that you don't need to write log of base e. Okay, so find your, you don't need to evaluate it. Sometimes it's best to leave it as log of base 5 because writing decimal numbers actually is an inexact form. The exact form is ln of 5. So as I said, you just go and do it the simple way, like so. So skipping the second step in this line is even left. So there we are going the reverse. We want to take log of x. We have log of x equal to 3. We want to know what x is. So we using e as the base. Okay. So we say if e is the base, then e raised to the power 3 is x. So therefore, starting with the question again, you go straight forward to the answer. So pause the video, have a go, you write this note for yourself. If this is your equation, then this is your answer. X equals to e raised to the power of whatever is on the right hand side. So pause the video, have a go at these questions, and then I'll show you the answer. So for this very first one, we first take log of both sides. So 2x plus 3 is equal to log of 7. And then we take away 3 and divide by 2. Simply, you can have it written like so. Or put the bracket around it and put the half in front of that. So this next question on the right here, you can subtract 1 from both sides. That's simple algebra. And then you can divide by 2 because 2 is outside of the logarithm. And now you going to use base e. X equals e squared. You don't have to evaluate it, leave it in exact form. Now here, this is trick question. So note that the power of e is twice as much as the power of e here. The ratio is 2 times bigger. So we can use this, I read this as a quadratic equation. We can read it as e to the, subtract 14 first of all. So we leave these first two terms on the left as they are, and we write minus 14 equal to 0. Then you can substitute a different letter. You can say z is e to the power of x, therefore e to the power of 2x is z squared. Remember, e to the power of 2x can be written like so. Yeah, so This is z squared. If you had to factorize z squared plus 5z minus 14 equal to 0 and solve this quadratic equation, what numbers would you put in the bracket? I hope you guessed it. You would have used plus 7 minus 2. Therefore, z equals to minus 7 and z equals to positive 2. Then you say e to the power of x was z. Can I have e raised to any power turn it into a negative? No. Therefore, that's not going to work. But e raised to some power can equal to 2. What's the answer here? Well, x equals to log of 2, ln of 2. Alright, so if you're in an exam, don't need to like me and put a big cross across that. Just say no solution. Okay, no solution there. X equals to log of 2. So this equation is solved. I've used an auxiliary formula here, auxiliary equation to, but you could have written it if you wish, like so, and work from there. Alright, so I'll show you the native way of writing it is so, factorizing that, and then writing it like so. Then the left side, that left part doesn't have an answer there. An answer here is this. So good luck with this section, and I'll give you a hint of for solving some of these equations. Some of them, I believe, have a difficult version. For example, you may see an equation that here you may have e raised to the power of 2x plus, I don't know, 5e to the power of, I'm making up this equation, it doesn't have a solution, e to the power of x plus 1. Now let's say, so it was like so, like yes, 14 equal to 0. This plus 1 means that you can break it up using index for lows as e to the power of x times e to the power of 1 and keep the 5 there, right? So that means that this is the coefficient of that term in the middle. Okay, so 5 times e, I know it's not factorizable because you wouldn't know what's 5 times 2 to the power of what would add up to this value, but this is basically the form of the equation. In the previous exercise, I believe there were some questions like that. If we if I show you an example, so here's the kind of example I was talking about. Here in this question, how to solve it involves you thinking, or even this question here. Just take that question there. You can rewrite that as 7 to the power of x squared plus, actually bring that 7 raised to the power of x plus 1 to the left, so you'll have a minus sign plus 12 equal to 0. Then this plus 1 means that this 7 raised to the power of x is multiplied by 7 to the power of 1. So that means that we can substitute some other letter for 7 raised to the power of x. Let's use what letter? Let's use a. Here is a squared, where a is 7 raised to the power of x. It's good to write what that is. So we have a minus 7. This minus 7 is multiplied by a, and here we have 2, so you can factorize this as, what are the factors of 12 that add up to minus 7. I hope you guessed them. This is minus 3 and minus 4. Now I'm saying a is 4 and a is 3. Note that a is 7 raised to the power of x, so both of these have answers. 7 raised to the power of x can be 3, so in form to find the answer, you simply take log of both sides. Now that you know natural logarithms, you can say x here is, I'm gonna write the answer here, log of 4 divided by log of 7, and this will give me x equals to log of 3 divided by log of 7 there. Alright, so I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video.